Okay, hello everybody.
Hi.
Good to be back. Good to see y'all.
Oh, you haven't been here for a long time?
Well, I haven't been here since before
You look
Pesach,
younger
and then
or
you,
something.
and then you.
You look younger.
That's what happens. That's what happens when you learn the Rebbe's Torah. You just get younger and younger. So now we have the fortune, the last year of the Rebbe's life of giving Sichos. In 1991, parshas Vayikra, he made, I guess, a conscious decision to shift into really talking about Geulah, to really making a point of hammering out Geulah.
Why did he never come here?
Okay, that's not what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Okay, because he followed halacha. Okay, he followed halacha.
He came and couldn't leave.
He came and couldn't leave. He followed halacha. He really followed halacha. Okay. You can go watch Jem videos about how he talked to people about it. People would ask him that question in public, and he would discuss it.
And he would cholish. He would be cholishing over how fabulous Eretz Yisrael is.
That's right, but he doesn't talk about Eretz Yisrael as what is the key to Geulah, at least in this Sicha. But Baruch Hashem, he does say at the very, very end. V'kishirim ha'osafas b'chinas tzedakah, giving tzedakah ha'mekareves es ha'geula be'eretz ha'kodesh, b'Yerushalayim, Ir ha'kodesh, b'har ha'kodesh, b'beis ha'mikdash, ha'shlishi mikdash, Hashem, konenu yadecha. So,
Say it in English.
bringing the geula in Eretz, in the Holy Land, in Yerushalayim, the holy city, on the holy mountain, in the third temple, the temple of Hashem. Your hands, they have fixed. Okay. So this is Nun. They're called the Nun Aleph Nun Beis Sichos. Okay, the Sichos of Nun Aleph, Tafshin Nun Aleph, and Tafshin Nun Beis. Okay, the Vayikra Tafshin Nun Aleph, 1991, through his last before the stroke, which was Vayakel Pekudei. Okay, Vayakel Pekudei, 1992, Tafshin Nun Beis. And so these Sichos have a totally different kind of tenor and structure.
Did he not speak again until he passed?
Correct. He did not speak again until he passed. Okay? So this is the last Sicha he ever gave on parshas Emor. Okay? And it's the first time I'm seeing this Sicha, and it's really, really powerful. So we're just gonna read it inside, okay? Just gonna
If
read
it's the first time you've seen it, how do you know it's really powerful?
Oh, it's the first this year is the first time I saw it yesterday.
Okay.
When I prepared for this year.
Well, you prepared.
Well, I read it. And it touched me very deeply. It's very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. And just as I was getting like, what are these sichas? Are these sichas? What's going on? Then this parshas Emor. It doesn't really have anything to do with the parsha on the surface. So maybe we can see somehow it is. But let's see. Okay. So he says, "Behemshech lemeduber al dvarin yinegula." So he's saying, thank you so much. We're continuing on our conversation about Geulah. Shahamila Geulah, the word Geulah, right? The word Geulah. Geulah means redemption. Geulah is spelled Gimel Am Aleph Lamed Hey. Geulah Gimel Am Aleph Lamed Hey.
So,
it's Osios Geulah. What's Geulah?
to be
Exile. Right? That's the opposite of Geulah, right? There's Geulah and there's Golus.
Just one
right?
Aleph away.
Just one Aleph away. It's basically the same letters with an Aleph. Bahosafas Aleph. Mivates es toichen Geulah. That expresses what is Geulah. Geulah, it's not like we're going to La La Land, we're going to some other universe, we're going to live on some other plane in Geulah, right? The Rambam says when Mashiach comes, the only thing that's going to change is that we're not going to be under the subjugation of the Goyim. So what is that? One, the Geulah dechol inyane hagalis, Geulah lo sholeles es ha'avoda begalis. It doesn't negate the work of Galus. Elahi koilelis. It includes and umala, and it raises up the Galus. Ali de hachnasas gilu Aleph. It raises. What? What's that? I didn't even finish the sentence. Okay. And let me translate for the people who don't understand Hebrew. The Geulah, the redemption doesn't negate the avoda of Galus. It includes and raises up the exile, the Galus, through adding and revealing the Aleph. Right? We're adding the Aleph. It doesn't take away, it's not a whole different word. It's the same word. It's the same word. Geulah is the same word as Goleh, but we've added the Aleph. What's the Aleph? Alufo shel olam. Hashem, the Alufo shel olam, the Alufo shel olam, the general of the world, the primary, the first, the Aluf, the general of the world. We added that Aleph, Geulah, into exile. Eich HaKadosh Baruch Hu. What does that mean? What does that mean to add the Aleph into the Goleh, to put the Aleph into exile? What does it mean putting the God into exile, combining him with the exile to create redemption? What is that? That is Eich HaKadosh Baruch Hu Bal HaBayis. How, seeing, revealing, demonstrating, understanding, appreciating, accepting, believing, admiring, seeing that Hashem is the Balabayas, is the owner of the world, umanhig eskol inyoneil, and drives and manages every single matter in the world, also in exile. That's one. Geulah nasis al yidei avoda b'galus. Geulah is completed, is Geulah, redemption is accomplished, is made through the avoda of galus. It's not like, oh, galus, we were just suffering for 3,000 years, and now, okay, let's chuck that. Now we're on to Geulah. No, it's through the toil and the avoda and the work of galus, of this Gimel Lamed Hey, that we are coming to Geulah. Because just like the word Geulah is built, most of its words, 3 out of the 4 words are coming from the word Goleh, exile. Elabetosefes Aleph. We're just adding the Aleph. So these two elements that I would have put them in the other order, but okay, that Geulah, going to Geulah, is taking. We were just saying that the word Geulah, redemption, is the same letters as the word exile, Galus. Okay, Galus, the same Galut, Goleh. To exile is 3 letters, Gimel Lamed Hey.
You know, Schloss had one of the great Schlossisms. What did he said? He said, you know what Golus is? Goalless.
Goalless. Okay, but
It's a great one.
the Rebbe's not exactly saying that. The Rebbe is saying that it's through the work of Galus, through the avoda of Galus, we come to Geulah. It sounds like Galus is just this, there's no point. Galus, this, it's obviously a state of exile to be without a goal, like you're in a state of exile. I hear that. It's a nice play on words.
I know.
But I'm just saying, but that diminishes a little bit. It a little bit belies.
You're a little.
I'm just trying to explain this line because it's this line that statement kind of goes against. So that's why I'm trying to just refine this understanding, because it's through Gullus. It's not that Gullus is a waste of time. Oh, we're just bumping into walls, like it's not a waste of time. It's how we get to Geulah, right? We're adding the Aleph into Gullus by the constant work of adding the Aleph into the exile, of seeing how Hashem runs the world, seeing Hashem in the world. We are creating Geulah. We're getting to Geulah. Let's hold on a few other points about this. So what's the work of Am Yisrael? Right? He calls the current time Erev HaGeulah. We're in Erev HaGeulah. We're like Erev Shabbos. We're in Erev Shabbos. We're Erev HaGeulah. What are we doing? Okay. As a Chiddush Shel Geulah, this addition and revelation of the Aleph in the exile. So in the exile we reveal the Aleph, and that changes the word of exile into redemption. Ush b'shnei inyanim and iskarim le'el. With these two matters we just said. Roy miyad begula rishona. B'makar dekol gulas Mitzrayim. So he's going to explain how Geulas Mitzrayim is the paradigm for the final Geulah. Okay, we spoke a lot about the Geulas Mitzrayim, right? Ki yemei tzeischa me'aretz Mitzrayim. Just like in the days of your coming out of Egypt, Aren and Neflois, I'm going to show wonders just like those. So that the coming out of Egypt is the paradigm. That's what opened the faucet of the future Geulah. That is the template, the paradigm. It's what allowed the final Geulah to take place. That Geulah from Egypt. So we have to look at that Geulah from Egypt and see it as a template of how we're going to encounter the final Geulah. Hageulah misbates bezeh. So the redemption is expressed thusly. More than just everybody, all the Jews coming out of Mitzrayim, right? B'na'areinu zekaneinu, right? All of our younger, our old, our homes, our their children, our daughters. Ub'shleimus v'im kol chafatzenu, and all of our possessions. Al derech mashikasim kasbam zohava mitam. They took their money, their silver and their gold with them. Heim lakchu ugalu itam games anyinam de Geulah. They took and they redeemed with them also the matters of the exile, right? The manner, the physical stuff of the exile, they brought with them. They took up with them when they left Egypt. V'yishalu mimitzrayim, they requested. Hashem says to Moshe, ask them to go ask the Egyptians for their silver, for their gold, for their copper. V'yanatzlu, and Am Yisrael will wipe them out. We'll clear them, make them, wipe them out.
Ask them?
Yes. Ask them. Yes, they should ask them. They should.
Turned it over.
They did, but
didn't have to force them.
they didn't have to force them. Exactly, they turned it over. Sha'asu k'mitzuda she'ein badagan. Right, the Gemara says that he made them like a net without any fish. It was like they wiped it out. They just cleared it all out. They cleared the safe. That's what the Jews did when they left Egypt. They asked the Mitzrim for their stuff. The Mitzrim piled it on. They wiped them clean. And they took it all with them. So they took the physical stuff of the exile. Right? That was Egyptian stuff. That was the Egyptian exile. And they took the Egyptian booty. They took it with them. They brought it. So their redemption included taking the physical stuff of the exile with them and bringing it with them in Geulah. It wasn't just leaving Mitzrayim. Rather, it was also the Mitzrayim atzmai. It was also taking Mitzrayim with them. By adding the Aleph, Hashem, Alufer Shalom, the master of the world, Binyane Hagalas, in the matters of the exile, Tachlis Brias Devarim, Elu Alide Kadosh Baruch Hu Nasinasam LeMitzrayim, Bichdei Shebnei Yisrael, Yivaru Oisam Al Yidei Vinatzos Mitzrayim, that Hashem had given the Egyptians this gold and silver. That was part of the plan. Hashem had decided that the Egyptians are going to have this gold and silver so that the Jews can chap it. They can elevate it. They can take it and they can elevate it. So he first gave it to the Mitzrim for us to get. And so we took Mitzrayim with us. Hashem made that Mitzrayim treasure, Mitzrayim assets, and we had to go into Mitzrayim in the way we did in order that we can assume and elevate the assets of Mitzrayim. And we went out with great wealth, with great rechush, with great property. Right? It says that Hashem put this chen on us that when we went to ask the Egyptians, after the Choshech, we said, can we have I know you've got that stuff and and they just gave it to them. They didn't have to force them, didn't have to threaten them, and in fact the Jews didn't even want to ask. It's a very interesting thing how the language that Moshe Rabbeinu was told to ask them, it's like no, Yishalu no, go please ask them. Because Bnei Yisrael, they're going to be uncomfortable to do such a thing. They're going to be uncomfortable to say, listen, isn't enough we're leaving? Isn't enough we're leaving and coming out of here? Like, we're kicking, like Hashem, you're kicking their tuchases, all over the place. And now you want us to go, it's like a little bit. We're going to also go ask them for their gold and their silver. It's like, we feel bad. Let's just leave. Let's just get our behinds with us and we'll go. So Hashem had to tell Moshe, please ask them to request from the Egyptians. Bnei Yisrael were not feeling so comfortable with it. Right? And even what they didn't ask from the Egyptians felt they just had to give it to them. The Egyptians themselves, right? It was the Jews that he had to push to ask the Egyptians. The Egyptians were fine with giving once they were asked. Why did the Egyptians get this feeling they had to give their stuff to the Jews when they were leaving? Right? It's completely opposite of the nature, right? We're completely destroyed, says the Mitzrim. But you know what? On your way out, here, take my grandmother's golden vase with you. You know, as a what it's called, as a
Going away.
as a parting gift, as a token, as a memorabilia. Why would they at least they hold on to something?
I have no question on that at all. After what they had been through, after all of the plagues that they would say, get out of here. Take anything you want, get out of here.
But they were just asked, could I have your thing? No, I don't know what I'm living it's like Iran, okay? It's like Iran right now. The Iranians saying to the Americans, here's my as you're leaving, our country's in total ruins. We have nothing, I just want to give you some more stuff. I don't want to hold on to any gold. I don't want to hold on to any assets myself. Why would those come in handy, the next, in my future?
Okay,
Let me
so
just give
what's
them to
the
you.
answer? What's the answer?
Okay.
They just want to
What's
get
the
rid
answer?
of
Yeah,
them.
what's
They
the
just
answer?
want to get them the hell out.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
So get them the hell out of there without giving them their stuff. So they asked. So here's 5 shekels. Bye. At least let me. They gave even more than what they were requested. What would push them to do such a thing? That's
Their lives.
That's against the. Their life was not in danger for this
How would they have known that?
because they were just they.
it was over.
Hello, hi. I was wondering, could we take your gold and silver? Okay, here's a gold cup.
Okay.
Goodbye.
All right, we see it
Okay.
differently. Go forward.
No, there wasn't a threat on their lives.
Uh-huh.
They gave them willingly. They gave them from their.
Of course they
even
did,
it
because
says
they
what they
didn't
even
know
were
that
not
was-
asked of. They gave. That's against your nature.
Okay, they didn't know that was the last plague, the killing of the firstborn.
I
No,
agree
this
with
was
you.
them. This
they
was
were
them
never-
leaving,
they were
and they're saying
never-
on your way out. Instead of saying don't let the door hit you on the way out, they're here's a gold medallion from the my last asset that I have in the world. Here, go. You take that too. Why not?
Because if Hashem had given it to them for the purpose of giving it to us,
But they didn't know that. The Mitzrayim didn't know
They
that.
knew that, but they knew they weren't going to die.
Okay. There's still a little protection here. It's like when you're being mugged. It's like give me everything in your wallet. Give me everything in your wallet. Here's my wallet. Oh, you know what? I also have $100 in my shoe. Here, take that too. I know you didn't know, but give me a break.
We see it differently.
Yeah, you're gonna do that. The guy comes up. Give me your wallet. And you give him a wallet, and you give him. You know what? Did you know I was wearing a watch? You didn't see my watch? Here, the watch too. Give him the wallet. That's what he asked for. Goodbye.
That's why I carry a wireless hole puncher.
A wireless hole puncher.
Yeah.
Wireless hole puncher. What's a wire-full hole puncher?
It would be a hole puncher that you plug into the wall. Mine is wireless. I carry it with
I've
me.
never seen a hole puncher you plug into the wall.
Well, that's why you carry a gun.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah, I see. All right. So after Hashem broke Mitzrayim, al yedei eser amakos, lamakan pitoim higishu shalom Mitzrayim hu shi shalom Mitzrayim. Hashem nasan. So Hashem gave them this chain, and they gave them all this stuff. It's very weird. Elami kavan. Why? What? Chain. Chet nun. Grace. He put some chain on them. Yeah. They had a nice look to them that they couldn't. They just wanted to give everything they had to them. Elamikevan shegula perusha gama gula ha'aliyah shel Mitzrayim. Even the gula, the redemption from Mitzrayim, atzma aydei hakara. That was when they finally realized and aware that Hakadosh Baruch Hu ilufu shel umanhiga shel. They knew. They realized. Oh, okay. Hashem is Taka running the world. Hashem is running the whole world. Once that knowledge is broken in, then it's just like, sure, the Mitzrim, hivinu, they understood, v'hergishu, and they felt, zoif, finally, ve'elu shelo chazu, hari mazlayu chazu, even if they didn't see it consciously, they saw it unconsciously, mazlayu ra. Right, that's what it says in the Gemara and Megillah and Sanhedrin that their mazel saw, their unconscious saw. The Yadu Mitzrayim ki ani Hashem, and Mitzrayim says in I guess somewhere in the Torah it says Vayadu Mitzrayim ki ani Hashem, and Mitzrayim knew that I'm Hashem. L'chein zayat tzarich lehasos. That was what had to be done. Ubafoyel nasa, and it was done. Loi bal karcham shel mitzrim. It wasn't al karcho shel mitzrim. El b'ritzonim. It was their desire. It was their will. But oifen devi shalom, in a matter that they were just asked. To the point that even what they didn't ask for, what the Jews didn't ask for the Mitzrayim just handed over to them. Ad bal karcham shel Yisrael. Even Yisrael didn't even ask. It was against the will of a Yisrael. The Jews weren't even asking for this. They didn't even want this. And the Mitzrayim were forcing them to take their stuff. Forcing them, pushing this stuff on them. Because the Mitzrayim had put the Aleph into Geulah. They had seen that Hashem is taka running everything. They saw that and even if they weren't conscious of what that meant, their subconscious was seeing that Hashem is doing this, and so it was an instinctual desire, want to say, take this stuff, take it with you.
I'm sorry. The Mitzrayim put the Aleph back in
Well, that was Geulah. It was Geulah.
Right.
And Geulah was achieved through the Eser Makos, the 10 plagues, and those 10 plagues drove into the skull of the Mitzrayim that Hashem is Alufa Shel Olam, that Hashem is running the world. There is no other Balabas, there's no other Balabayas or Balabira than Hashem. Hashem is the manhig of the world, and they understood that after all those makos. They finally understood that and felt it to such a deep place, even if it wasn't intellectual. It wasn't intellectual, but they understood it. They felt it in such a deep place that it didn't require them to be. Once they understood it, then it was an instinctual move to give their stuff to the Jews. It was instinctual. It was something that just welled up in them.
Okay, that I get. I just didn't know what you meant. I guess it was a mushal or something. They put the Aleph back in the Geulah.
Well, that's what Geulah is. Geulah is putting the Aleph. Right. What's the difference between Geulah and Goleh?
You're saying they did it.
It happened.
Oh.
It happened to them.
That's easier.
It happened to them. It happened to them. It happened to them in a way from the Makos that the Aleph was put into. The Alufa Shel Olam was put into the exile. They saw it. It was done to them through the 10 plagues. Okay? And I guess this was asking after the plague of the firstborn, they asked. I guess after the plague of the firstborn, on their way out, right? They're all mourning their firstborn children. The Jews are like, can I have your stuff, you know? And the Egyptians just gave it, just wanted to give it, wanted to give even more.
Fear. They gave it from fear. They were fearful of the.
It's not what's indicated in the.
Well,
it's not what's indicated in the sources.
It doesn't say not that. You know, I
Um,
think it was
Well,
right.
it does say even what they didn't ask for, but it was from their ratzon. It wasn't. They did not feel. They may have felt compelled, but they weren't forced.
No.
They felt this was what they needed to do. That was something that they felt in themselves. That wasn't something that you were holding a gun to them and say, "Give me your stuff." That's fear. Fear is, I'm going to die if I don't give this to you. This was not that. You had these poor schleppers coming to their door and say, "Could I have your candlesticks?" And say, "You know what? I'm not just going to give you my candlesticks. I'm going to give you my candlesticks. I'm going to give you my gold vase. I'm going to give you my silver, the jewels. I'm going to give you this. I'm going to give." What is that? Where did that come from?
Their firstborn had just died.
Yeah.
They were fearful of Hashem and fearful of the Jews. They wanted.
Okay, what are you adding to this? That they were fearful. So you're saying that it wasn't this. So, but that's what the Rebbe's point is, that it wasn't really just fear. It was. That's not to say fear. It's to kind of like obfuscate the point. It's that once the Geulah of this putting the Aleph, of seeing Hashem in the world, seeing clearly that Hashem is running the world, there became a natural instinct. There became some kind of instinctual, internal compulsion. You say, "Oh, it's just fear. Just fear." No, that's not. It's not. No, that's what he said. and it's fear. It's just fear.
Say
I didn't say
just,
just
and
fear.
he's not
I said-
obfuscating.
So what's
It's
it-
not what the obfuscating.
It's obfuscating because
You're
it's minimizing the point by saying, oh, it's just that we were afraid. Of course they gave it. That we'd asked that earlier. That's what he said. He was saving his life. That they're saving their lives. But it doesn't make sense. It's against nature. I'm sorry. If somebody's holding a gun to your head and they say, give us your wallet, they're not going to say, okay, and I also have $100 in my shoe.
Right.
You never would know. But you know what? I just want to give it to you anyway
No, if
because I'm afraid.
If you were fearful enough, you might do that. Yeah, somebody's got a gun at your head.
Okay, so maybe the feeling they felt was fear. Maybe it appeared to them. Maybe that was what they felt. But there was something in them that felt they needed to give all their stuff to the Jews.
Is that not going to happen in the future when Goleh happens?
Of course, that's what's going to happen in the
When
future.
nations are all going to want
We're
to
going to. That's what the point is. People think, oh, I don't want Mashiach to come because I have a whole nice parnasa. I have all this property. I have all these nice things. I have da. And the Rebbe's saying, it's not. Geulah is not going to undo that and delete that, and now we move on to a new chapter. It's going to include that and uplift that. Everything from that's what's underlying this point. Everything, not this point, but in general, what's underlying the Geulah it's the same word as exile, just with the Aleph. So you have your house, but now it's from Hashem. You have your family, you have your money, you have your whatever. But now there's Hashem there. The Aleph is there in a way that was not there before. And that's Geulah. It's the same thing as Goleh. It's Gimel, Lamed, Hey. Goleh, exile. But when you put the Aleph there, it's still Gimel, Lamed, Hey with an Aleph.
So what's going to happen in the final redemption?
The same thing. We're going to get all the people. It's not good. The point is, no one's going to force anything. No one's going to force anything.
It's all about the Aleph. Will you get with the Aleph?
So hold on. I mean, we can. Yeah.
Can we say that they experienced true Yirat Shamayim at that point, where they were just wanted a gift? Maybe they saw something, they felt something.
I don't know. This Yira Shemayim. He doesn't say Yira Shemayim. He doesn't say
It's
those
not
words
fear,
Yira
like, It does
Shemayim.
not feel like you're saying.
He
like
he
you're
doesn't
saying.
say that. It's
But I'm saying
that
it
there's
could be-
this. Yeah.
Yirat Shamayim. That's what I'm saying. That they experienced.
They
Yirat Shamayim
understood
and
the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why they just
Yeah.
wanted to give.
They saw it. I guess
Exactly.
Yira from
Yeah.
they saw that the Aleph of the world, the Alufa Shel Olam, Hashem, is the master, and so they're like, this is yours.
Of course, exactly.
This is yours. They had this instinct. There was something that became instinctual from that acknowledgement, from that revelation, from that feeling, from that integrating that Hashem is the world, that this stuff is not ours, it's actually yours. It belongs to you. It belongs to you. That's why it's not just fear, because fear is irrational. Fear is just like, whatever, there was something that this belongs to you. This is yours. This is not really ours. This is really yours. This belongs to you.
Okay, 3 days later, they were chasing them to kill him and take everything back.
Well, okay.
No, so
So at that moment,
the whole picture.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's there's supernatural forces.
So
that
what?
make-
So wait. So you're saying you let's say just say they experienced Yirat Shamayim, and that's what happened. But
Temporary.
after 3 days, you lose that Yirat Shamayim all of a sudden. It's not once you experience it, then you have it forever.
Well, there was also a special chain that they put, but that instinct, whether it was, I'm not saying that these things, the Geulah is also not a permanent Geulah, right? The Geulah of Mitzrayim was also not the permanent Geulah, right? So that's why it's not the final Geulah. It's not the final Geulah, but it has it's the template of the final Geulah. It's what opened the tzínor for the final Geulah. In fact, the Seder, we start Pesach Seder in a certain sense, wondering what the heck is going on. If we're celebrating Geulah, why are we still in Golus? Like, we're so excited Hashem took out of Mitzrayim. What a great redemption He did. I'm sitting here in Flatbush with a mortgage and my kids going off the derech. What is the Geulah here? What is the Geulah? Why? So okay. So it wasn't Geulah?
It's a different
So it wasn't
type of
Geulah?
slavery.
It was Geulah, but it's not the final Geulah. But that's the kasha of the Seder. That's the kasha. Halach ma'anya. Halach ma'anya. What are we doing over here? Hacha avdei. Hacha avdei. We're slaves here. What's going on? Hashem is a redeemer or not a redeemer? It's a kasha. It's a kasha. But it gives us the koyach, because that is the template. The fact that Hashem took us out is the promise that we will be taken out, that there will be a final redemption. Okay?
There's a midrash that says once the revelation of the righteous being reborn and the power of Hashem being revealed to the nations, and that the Jews, revelation that the Jews are the people of the book, that the Goyim will want to serve us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and those the Jews male Jews who wore tzitzis, in particular, the Goyim will want to serve them and surround them and want to wait on them because they were a level higher.
So
right?
Well, they're gonna. It says that these goyim are gonna grab onto the tzitzis. They're gonna be like several thousand non-Jews that are gonna grab onto the tzitzis of the
And
Jews.
they want to serve those who wear the tzitzis.
Okay, well, that's tzitzis are very in style now. You know that. Tzitzis, there's a fad now among Israelis to wear tzitzis without a kippah.
Well, the ones that went to
wear
the
tzitzis.
army. That's what
They're selling tzitzis in my grocery store next door to my house. They started selling tzitzis.
And your buddy, who usually comes once a week. That's it. Jeff.
Jeff
Oh.
comes. He's been one of the main forces in getting his tzitzis for the soldiers.
Oh yeah. Oh, beautiful.
He's in charge of the whole program.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. So
Not in touch with you?
Yeah,
He is in touch? Oh,
Yeah.
good. So,
he's okay.
no, he usually comes on Wednesday.
So from this it's understood that for all the Geulas, until the true Geulah, Amiti Vashlema, the true and complete redemption, Shalen Amar Kimetes Chame Eretz Mitzrayim, Eren and Eflois, like the days I took you out from Egypt. So Egypt's redemption is the template. Shinikres Geulah Kevan Shetochnahu. 1. Ligoil, to redeem, lahalois, to uplift all of the matters of the exile, ali deizesh megalim behemes alufa shel olam, through the revelation in those matters of Geulah that are actually godliness, the godly. It's run by God. There's the God, and Hashem is behind the whole thing. And secondly, dafka ali de avoda begoyla megim legula, and it's through the avoda of one word when it's not clear, when Hashem, the Alufa Shalom, is not there. It's the avoda that we're doing now that actually brings us to that place. Okay, we have to understand. But it comes to this place where even the goyim are saying, "Here, take the stuff, take it. I see it's yours. It's all yours." You have to understand there are. Hold on, I don't want to get this number wrong. There are 280. Sorry, there were 202 sparks of kedusha that were taken out in Egypt. 202, and there are 86 left. Altogether, says the Kabbalah, altogether there are 288 sparks that need to be redeemed in this world. 288, right? You heard that before?
No.
Okay, so there are these 288 sparks.
What is a spark?
I don't know. There's a spark of holiness that has been hidden in the darkness, and they need to be uplifted and revealed and redeemed in order for Geulah, for the final Geulah to happen. Egypt had 202. There were 202, and we took those 202. The rest of history, until the final redemption, 86, which is also the Lashon of Elokim, the same gematria as Elokim. And that means that the Teva, Elokim is Lashon HaTeva, the nature. So it's seeing that there is the work of Gullus is to really see that the nature, while it looks like Hashem is absent, or it's just Kimin Hago Shel Olam, the world just works on its, system, and it's just nature, that's how nature works, Hashem's not, I guess, involved, or he can only be involved when he chooses, but it's not really involved. So those are the 86 sparks. The 86 sparks that are still left is that we have to say, even though nature doesn't, it looks like it's just a system and it just was set up and is just running like clockwork, that Hashem is there, that Hashem is totally behind nature, and that's what the final redemption will indicate, right? That there's not going to be miracles that break nature, remember? It's not going to be miracles that break nature. Anyway, okay, so that's part of the part of the vessels that we took out and all the stuff and the possessions of the Egyptians. That was the part of that was the physical representation of those 202 sparks that we redeemed with the exile, with the redemption of Egypt. And now there are 86 left. So that those 86 left are kind of, I guess, spread out through the rest of history. Okay? So the heavy lifting we did in Egypt. Okay? And now it's just a slower lift.
86 spread throughout history.
I guess there are 86 left. There are 86 left.
They're in Egypt.
They're not necessarily in Egypt. There were 102 in Egypt. We got the ones in Egypt.
Oh.
The Egyptians had them.
The 288 were
The 202.
202 and 86. The full 288.
The full 202.
288.
That'll be at the final. We're 202 for sure down. We're 86 to go, and we may be done with 86. We may actually be done. The 86 may be done, and we're ready for Mashiach to come. Like that's what the Rebbe says. The Rebbe says we're all ready. We're all ready, and he says all of us are on the level to be tzaddikim. Everybody alive here can have Hashem's nevuah on them, and everybody, like, that's it. We don't need to do any more hard work. We just have to kind of put the Aleph back in. What does that mean? What does that mean? What?
It's hard work.
No, it's not hard work.
It's hard work.
So that's what we say. So we say, so it's not. Don't forget it. I don't want to hear about it.
You don't want him to scare everybody.
Hey, what's the Aleph like? You said.
Okay, so let's here we go. Okay. What's the Aleph? Yeah. Practical, yes, very practical. Okay, so Aval tzarich this was Mitzrayim nifel b'Geulah for Shleilim yed Mitzrayim ki Hashem Kadosh Baruch Hu Bala Bayis V'nei Olam. Okay, Ad Shekavana Hu Matan Torah. Right, we got the Torah. Okay, so we're talking about what's going to be with the final Geulah, where there will be a full revelation of Hashem's dwelling in this world completely comfortably. Until Shaloya Esek Kol Olam, until the entire world's business will only be Ladas Es Hashem Bilvad, to know Hashem. Listen to this. This is a beautiful line. Listen to this. Ad Shaloya Esek Kol Olam, the world's going to evolve to a place Shaloya Esek Kol Olam El Ladas Es Hashem Bilvad. Everyone's going to want to just know what Hashem is. Ulefikach, and therefore, you, Yisrael, and therefore the Jews are going to be Chachamim Gedolim. V'yoidim Dvarim Hastumim. And the Jews are going to be the address. V'yasigu das barim kifi koyach adam shenemar ki mol haaretz de'as Hashem kamayim liyam echasim. The knowledge of Hashem is going to be like the water covering the oceans. Via az chiddush b'Torah, and there will be at that point a chiddush in the Torah, a renewal in the Torah. Kashem shal derech shagolos gulas Mitzrayim hayu hachana lamatan Torah. Just like the redemption of Egypt was only preparation to get to Matan Torah, where Hashem gives us the Torah. Kashem shal derech zedada kach tavia geula mitis. The coming of the final geula there'll be a chiddush in the Torah. There'll be like a new Matan Torah. There'll be a new giving of the Torah. Gilui Pnimius the Torah, the revelation of the inner Torah, the Pnimius of the Torah. Sod Tameh, the secret of its reasoning, Umesater Tzfunoseha, and the hiddenness is Ad Torah Chadasha Mi'iti Teitze. A new Torah will come from me. That's a line from Yeshayahu. Torah Chadasha. That's from Isaiah. The Kevan Shekol in Yonim Elu. Shehem nelim shaloi be'erech migilui ata dalufa shaloilam nechalolam b'shem geula muchroch lomer shekol ze merumas gam begula. So this is also included in the Aleph, adding the Aleph into Goleh. This Aleph, the alufa shaloilam, it really is 3 stages. There are 3 stages of adding this Aleph into the word exile. By adding Aleph into the word Geulah, into the word exile, it becomes Geula. There are 3 levels. How do we explain? Ba'os Aleph. that we add into the word, that is added into the word Geulah, from exile, Yeshtam Kama Perushim. One, Aleph Miloshin Aluf, the general, Aluf Shaloilam. Hashem is the Baal Habayis. Secondly, Aleph Miloshin Ulpana, the Limud. Aleph is a language of learning, Ulpana, learning. A'alefcha Chachma, I will teach you Chachma. A'alefcha Bina. So the word Aleph also means to teach, to learn. And then, thirdly, Aleph is Osios Pele. Pele. Pele, a wonder. Wonder. Arenu niflois, right? I'm going to show, just like the days you come out of Egypt, I'm going to show wonders, Plaim, Plaos, Pele. That's also Aleph. Putting in the Aleph into the redemption, into the exile, there's going to be a third level, which is going to be wonders. Pele. What is that? So in the work of transforming exile into Geulah, there are three inyanim, three stages. Shalosh dargus ushlavim, there are three levels. Gilu elokus b'soichu be'erech lo'olam. There's the redemption, there's the revelation of godliness in the world according to the world. In the world according to the world. Gilu elokus shalamayla ma'olam. Secondly, there's the revelation of godliness that is above the world, but yeshlo eza erech v'yach, but still related to the world. So there's the revelation of godliness in the world, according to the world. There's the revelation of godliness that's beyond the world, but related to the world. And then, Gilu Eloku Shalamayla Lagamre Ma'olam. And then there's the revelation of godliness that's completely detached from this world.
That's the Pele.
That's the Pele. Okay? Both in Mufla or Muvdal b'miyuchad Aydei Niflosh b'Torah. And that's through the Pele in the Torah. Niflos in the Torah. She is Galu Begula Mitzis, that will be revealed. It's the Torah. We're like wondering, where is this? It's the Torah. It's the Torah. The Torah is going to unlock and explode into this like wondrous fountain of wonders and Pele that only Hashem himself could have put together.
What's Pella?
Wonder.
Telephone.
Okay? Miracle. V'kevan shekol inyanim elu. Oh, sorry. One second.
That's how they got the name.
Vadavar Rishon. Okay, what's the first slav? Okay, so those are the three slavs. First, there's godliness, revealing godliness, the revelation of godliness in the world according to the world. The revelation of the godliness that's above the world, but we can still understand it, it's related to it. And then there's a level of godliness that we have, just blows our mind. We can't even, it's so wow, just beyond, and it's just a Pele. Okay? So those are the three stages of Geulah. Hadavar Rishon, Misbatis Legalus B'chol Inyanei Olam. The first stage is expressed in the revelation in all the matters of the world. That is exile, where we are now, as a Aleph, to find the Aleph, the godliness, the Lufa Shaloilam. Eich she HaKadosh Baruch Hu Ha'ulav Ubala B'Yishol. How is Hashem, the general, the master of the world in this world? Figure it out. How is God the master of the world? That is bringing Geulah. That is Geulah. That's the first step of Geulah. The first step of Geulah is to put God back into the world. How is God the Aluf Shel Olam? Olam Eloshim He'elim Hester. The world, from the language of hiddenness and hiding. Niver Ba'ofen Shu. It's creating a world that it covers up godliness. Ala Devar Hashem Shetamid Mahave. Even though Hashem is completely bringing the world into existence, enlivening the world. If Hashem wasn't bringing the world, this is the big chiddush of Hasidus. Hasidus brought this chiddush to life in a big way, which is that the world is completely being rejuvenated, regenerated from scratch, from yesh mi'ayin, from, what is that, yesh mi'ayin? From nothing. What's the Latin? What's the Latin? Yesh mi'ayin. Something from nothing.
Gurnish from Gurnish.
Gurnish from Gurnished. So Hashem is completely unlive this minute. Hashem, nothing is set. Everything is completely Hashem rejuvenating the world, regenerating the world, every single nanosecond. Even though we don't see it, we bichlal don't see it. It just seems like, right? We see like our eyes cannot catch that the frames. It just looks like it's all just going. Havoida the Bnei Yisrael he lagalos, but the work of Am Yisrael, while we're still in this darkness, is to reveal that in the world. Eicha Kadosh Baruch Hu alufa shalom, how he's the alufa shalom. Hein b'chol olam, hein b'prati olam, both in general and in every single specific thing. Kirenu shemecha ma'aseh etzbeisecha, because I showed you the heavens is the work of your fingers, and the sun and the moon and the stars, which you set up. Also in every little matter. Revealing the strength of the cause in every effect. What's the cause of every effect? God, 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 God. Not your mother-in-law, not your parents, not the bank. God, 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 God. Back to the bank manager. Back to the bank manager. Back to that guy. Back to the cop. Back to the insurance company. So we have to get into this. This is the work of Chovos HaLevavos. This is the work of seeing Hashem in the world. That's it. Put the Aleph back into the Geulah. Make Geulah. Okay, so let's just stop there. Okay, because that's where we're at. We're working on this part. How do we get Geulah? We have to put the Aleph back into Geulah. That is the work of seeing Hashem in everything. That's it. There's no secret. That's it. That's the big secret. Hashem is running the world. Do we see Hashem in the world or not? Do we think there's cause and effect? Do we believe in cause and effect? Do we think that people have power? Are we doing mitzvahs for ourselves? Are we doing them to be better people? Are we looking, because that's making, when I read this yesterday, this is what I thought. Okay, why else am I doing? Of course Alufa Shalom. Who's the other Alufa Shalom? I'm the Alufa Shalom. I'm doing Torah and mitzvahs, so I'm the Alufa Shalom. I want to be the best. I want to be the general. I want to be the best. Why am I doing Torah and mitzvahs? So I can be the best. So I can be Alufa Shalom. I'm not doing it for Hashem because he's the Alufa Shalom. I believe that Hashem set this up so I could be Alufa Shalom if I do these things. I, of course, believe Hashem gave the Torah and he's running everything. Great. So now I'll do it because obviously that's how I can be the best I can be. And get the most pleasure out of life, and get the most hatzlacha, right? That's what I should do. I want to be alufa shel olam. I'm not doing it to make Hashem alufa shel olam, or because I see that he's alufa shel olam. I get, maybe a few years ago I thought he was alufa shel olam, but I've since gotten, I have to take care of my life. I have to take care of who's the alufa shel olam over here. No one else is going to take care.
So then you missed the point.
Totally missed the point. And the avoda is stymied. It's completely stymied.
There it is again, by the way. Hashem needs it. Hashem wants it.
It doesn't matter. Hashem told us what he likes. Right? It's his ratzon, right? We say ratzon Hashem. So the Torah and the mitzvahs, that's ratzon Hashem, right? That's what Hashem wants. Okay? He wants. This is his need. This is his want. His will. So when somebody does something really nice for me, let's say they saved my life. They saved my life. Or let's say I was missing an arm and they gave me an arm. They gave me an arm, a brain that works perfectly. And I know what did they like? What is their want? They want omelets every morning. They just love omelets. I don't know why. I don't really like omelets, but they like omelets. I'm going to make sure that guy has got omelets every day. Why? Because I want something? No, because the guy gave me an arm, for crying out loud. Let me take that arm and make an omelet because he likes it. Because he likes it. That's what he likes. I happen to find out that that's what he likes. So am I doing it because I want another arm? Am I doing that because he's got other limbs that I could use? What am I doing it? It's not about him needing or not needing. He told me he likes this. It's a basic human instinct that when somebody does something really nice for you, you want to do what they like. You want to pay them back. You want to try to do nice for them. So if we really realize that every single blood cell, every single second, every single heart pump, every single nerve ending that's working perfectly every single second of our entire lives was all Hashem's doing every single moment, every single day, how many omelets is that? How many omelets worth is that? I've got not just one arm, every single moment, a new arm. Who said this arm, I can count on this arm? Hashem is giving me this arm for free every single moment. No, I'm entitled to this arm for the rest of the day? I'm entitled to this arm for the rest of the day? I am? No, I'm not. And yet I have it again, and again, and again, and again, and I can breathe again, and I can talk again, and I think again. My brain still works. Is this something that I got a signed contract that my brain's gonna work for another day? Somehow I can count on? No. It's a free gift. Everything I have is a free gift. Hashem, this is seeing the Aleph in the Geulah. That Hashem is the Alufa Shel Olam. He is running the show. If I just think, well, this is just how the world works. I have arms, I have legs. What do you want from me? Let me see how to figure out my life. Oh, you know how to figure out my life? I'll do Torah, I'll do mitzvahs. That's how I'll get good. That's how I'll get good. That's how I'll make myself into a good guy. It's very nice. It's very nice. Very natural. Very natural. But I'm missing out who the Alufa Shel Olam is. Who is the Aleph? Where is the Aleph? Am I the Aleph?
No.
Or is Hashem the Aleph? Hashem's the Aleph. Why am I in Goleh? Because I haven't put the Aleph in the Goleh. I'm the Aleph still. I'm Alufa Shel Olam. I'm doing this for me. To make me feel good. To make it's smart. I'm a smart guy. This is the best way to live. Doing Torah and mitzvahs. That's the best way to live. Am I doing it because Hashem wants? Because I owe Him? Because He's giving me my life and everything I love, and He's always given it to me, and I've never done any. Like when I was 15 years old, had I done anything to deserve all the good that I had in my life? Every day of life, of food, of eyesight, of hearing. No, and I still am not doing anything to deserve that. Everything is all within my thinking of how. If I do this, then I get this, and I do this, and I'm the Alufa Shel Olam. So you know. This is what the first step of Geulah is. The first step of putting the Aleph into the exile is saying, Hashem, you are running the world. What can I do? What can I do because you are running the world? I see that you're running the world. I see that everything. I stop being. This is actually the fifth shar of Chayvas Lubavitcher, of doing everything for Hashem. It's the fifth shar. It's after you have bitachon. After you have bitachon, shar bitachon is the fourth shar. The third shar is what's Hashem want? Avodas Elokim, right? Being in touch with doing service for God. That I owe Him something. The second shar is that He gave all. I look and see how much He gave me. How much He gave me. The first shar is I can't understand God at all. Okay, that's the first shar. I can't understand God at all. That's number one. Don't even think about what God is. You can't understand. Number two, well, look at all the good He gave you, okay? You can't think about what God is. Fine, stop thinking about that. Stop thinking you have it all figured out. Now just look at what He gave you. Oh my gosh, He gave you. Now shar 3 is Avodas Elokim. I've got to do something for Him. I've got to do something. Oh, you want to do something? 4, have bitachon. First, have bitachon. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. If Hashem is Alufa Shel Olam, everything's going to be good. Now, okay, I know everything's good. Now, how do I do the avoda? You do the avoda just thinking about Hashem, not about how it looks, what you're gonna get, how other people are gonna look at you, how you're gonna become, what you're gonna get out of it. You do it for Hashem. So, again, this is not an all or nothing, but at least we focus. We're so. The message that I feel is we're so intent on doing more mitzvahs. How do I get better? I do more mitzvahs. Why don't I ever think about doing mitzvahs more lishma? Have I ever thought in my life about doing mitzvahs lishma? Have I ever thought about that? Or is the thought immediately after, how do I do mitzvahs lishma? That's not possible. That's not. I mean, I just do mitzvahs, how I do mitzvahs. Like, can I work on doing mitzvahs more lishma? Can I work on that? Is that something that I can work on? Or is that just airy fairy tales? Fairy tales, don't talk to me, that's for somebody else. That's fairy tales. You know, mitoch shelo lishma bo lishma, right? There's a famous Gemara. Learn Torah in any case because mitoch shelo lishma, you're doing it lo lishma, but bo lishma, it'll come lishma. And that's what I tell myself, and I don't have to think about lishma ever again. I just think it'll just happen by itself, or it won't happen and whatever. And so, like, I think we can all agree the best way to do mitzvahs is lishma, right? We all can agree that the best way to do mitzvahs, the ideal way to do mitzvahs is lishma, right? And that's not a controversial statement, right? The best way to do mitzvahs is lishma. Now, why don't we ever talk about how to do mitzvahs lishma? Why don't we ever talk about it? Why don't we ever think that it's possible to do mitzvahs more lishma?
We're talking about it now.
That we're talking about it now. And I think that's putting Alufa Shalom. That's the Aleph. That's the Geulah. And I think that it's scary to think about doing Torah and mitzvahs lishma because it takes away our agency. Who's going to take care of me? I'm doing all these mitzvahs for a particular purpose. And if I start doing them lishma, then I'm going to miss that purpose of doing the Torah and mitzvahs. Because if I'm doing Torah and mitzvahs for schar, if I'm doing certain Talmid Chacham, if I'm doing Torah and mitzvahs to be a good guy, if I'm doing Torah and mitzvahs to make my wife happy, to fit into the community, to this and that, if I'm doing Torah and mitzvahs for those things, then how can you tell me to do them more lishma? I'll miss out on doing them for the purpose that I've been doing them until now. And that's scary. I don't want to waste my mitzvahs by doing them lishma. That is being honest with oneself. That's called being honest with oneself. This is not going to happen from Shamayim. This is going to happen when we want it, when we do it. We're waiting for somebody to come and pour pixie dust on us, and we'll just want to... We're there! But we have to say, you know what? Maybe Taka, there is something else. It's not about doing more. It's not about keeping Shabbos better. It's not about doing this more. Maybe how I do the mitzvah that I'm already doing, maybe I could do it better, not by turning myself into pretzels, but just say, what am I doing this for? What am I doing this for? You know what? I don't know why I'm doing this for, but I'll say right now, I'm doing it for you. I'm doing it for you, Hashem. I don't know why. I'm doing it, but I'll say I'm doing it for you. When you say that I'm doing it for you, it doesn't matter what you're thinking. It really doesn't. Because when you say I'm doing it for you, the dibur cancels out what you could be thinking. You don't even have a clear thought about why you're doing it anyway. Most of the time, we're not thinking that much. So at least if I say it, gewaldig. See, okay, so I don't know. Maybe we'll continue on this piece maybe because it really is very sadistic. So, okay, God bless you. Be blessed.